Hi, and welcome to episode 3 of Distraction, which is my third week in a row of podcasting, which made me my best ever. I got a haircut for the people that haven't seen the other 2 episodes, and I looked absolutely disgusting. But my mum and dad both had a go at cutting it, which are both, one being half blind, one not being able to see without her glasses on. But I think it came out pretty well. I think I'm going to try and bring I know the beard looks absolutely terrible on here, this looks thin and patchy, which it is. But I think I'm going to try and grow that out for isolation, see how bit long I can get it without anyone yelling at me. But yes, welcome to episode 3. This week is going to be, again, some funny stories and interesting things that happened that I found online during the week. Some recommendations for Netflix, Now TV, Prime, things like that. And then this week, hopefully you like it, I've done a walkthrough and tour of my Animal Crossing island, and today's the start of a new season, the Easter season, spring. The Easter season. It's the start of spring, but there's a big Easter event on, that's what I mean. So I'm going to do a walkthrough of that. I think that's like 20 minutes long, so if that interests you, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff there. If not, go and watch last week's or the week's before, because, I mean, last week's the one I'm most proud of, so go and watch that. Sorry to just jet all that out, but the average watch time is like a minute, and I think that's the first minute of the podcast that people listen to, see what it's about. So that's what it's about. I'm going to jump straight into funny stories or interesting stories from the week. The first one is something I was meant to mention last week, but I forgot to. And there's been videos made on this now, so it might not really matter. But it's the Chris Clemens incident with Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, which I think is absolutely amazing. For those that don't know, Chris Clemens is a YouTuber, but he's not like a massive celebrity YouTuber. Like I'd be excited to meet him, but it's not like meeting like John Legend. So basically she tweeted out, I think she's done it before, where she was like, I've got banana bread and I would like some romaine lettuce head in this instance. She was like, I'll trade someone if they've got any romaine lettuce, I'll come trade you my banana bread. So Chris Clemens replied and was like, lol, I've got it and I also live in LA. So it became this whole thing but then John Legend wanted half the banana bread that she was going to trade, so they had to go meet up in a car park and ended up trading a bottle of his wine. Apparently it was a wine business, but I haven't really researched into that. Some banana bread and some pie, and then Chris Clemens and his housemate traded some lettuce. And it's like really, really funny video. Go and watch it on YouTube. It's just Chris Clemens on YouTube. But I thought that was really, really funny, and it's absolutely mental that he met. I mean, Chrissy Teigen, don't really know what she's famous for. I'm sure it's something, but I just know being funny on Twitter. But obviously, fucking John Legend, I think that was amazing. Legendary. So that was the first thing I was meant to mention last week, so it might be old news now, but definitely go and give it a go. Second thing, I had no one message me being like, this sucked last week, do this. Probably no one watched last week, which is funny, because I think last week was my favourite episode, like, ever. But this week I've put the microphone down to see if it sounds any better, because last week I felt like it was, like, knocking myself in the face. But yeah, Great British Bake Off, still on. Only halfway through this week's episode. Normally I watch it as I edit. But this week you've got Joe Sugg, never watched him, but he's on it. Then you've got Alex Jones, Alison Hammond, and the legendary James Blunt. James Blunt is on this week. Very, very funny. I love James Blunt and his music, even though he's probably for like middle-aged women, but I think he's fucking great. So go and watch Bake Off. Every stand-up to cancer one's been absolutely fantastic. The one with James Buckley last week was really, really good as well. So I definitely recommend going and watching them. I recommend it every week because it's fucking amazing. So that's Great British Bake Off. I'm going to tick off this week so I don't forget what I've said and what I haven't. There was a really cool article I saw on Hat Films, mentioned it in their podcast, and it's just really random. I'm not going to talk about it for long. And it was just, there's an article being like, do Amish people know about the lockdown? And I was like, I just found that really, really funny. There could be a lot of Amish people just going about their daily lives and not realising the world is like in a pandemic. I think there was like this one guy, he was like going around giving haircuts or something. The police sort of stopped him from wherever he was going, and the guy was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, what are you saying? And I just found it really funny. There's a bunch of Amish people that don't know the words in a pandemic, and it must be nice to be them, just not knowing. But yeah, go and watch Hat Chat, the most recent one. That's what the YouTube channel's called, if you want to hear more about that. It was just really funny to me. Some 2 very uplifting things from this week, if you are feeling a bit down or a bit stressed out. One, which is a bit strange, Jodie Whittaker, the latest Doctor, took to Twitter on the BBC Doctor Who handle, and she recorded a little message being the Doctor, being like, we're going to get through this, it's going to be alright, it's just an adventure. and it was really weirdly uplifting, and loads of people quote tweeted it like, "This made me cry," and I gotta admit, I almost cried. It was that, like, I was like, wow, it really hit me deep. So if you are feeling bad, definitely go and give that a watch, because it really, really, like, just makes you feel better. And the other thing that makes you feel better is some good news. And if anyone knows John Krasinski, obviously from The Office fame, and he obviously wrote and directed A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2, but he started a new YouTube channel called Some Good News, and it's him doing exactly what you think, going through wonderful news throughout the entire week and interviewing people that have done really amazing things. And on this week's episode, it's episode 1, it came out like yesterday, he interviews Steve Carell, also from The Office, because it's the 15-year anniversary, and again, almost cried at it. Probably a few tears slipped out towards the end, because it's a really uplifting story about a girl getting cancer free, like doing her last treatment. So that was absolutely amazing. So definitely go and give that a watch if you're feeling a bit down, because that honestly was like the best thing in the world. Also on YouTube. Um, I wrote down, and the final funny thing was, I was listening to a podcast. If anyone knows anything about New Mutants, the new X-Men film, you probably don't. Basically, it was filmed in 2016, meant to come out in 2017, and it was cancelled, I think, for reshoots for some reason, I'm not quite sure. Then 2018, it was meant to come out again, cancelled, not sure why. And then we were going to get it. Oh, of course, and it was cancelled because the Fox Disney merger. No, what the fuck's to do with it? So it was cancelled then, and then it got to 2020, and we were gonna get it March. I think I like mentioned it in another podcast. Going to get it, fucking fantastic, and cancelled again, obviously because of the pandemic. So the new game is try and come up with a new reason for why the New Mutants will be cancelled again next year. And I think this is my guess of why it's next time it's going to be cancelled. I think that there's going to be a plot point in it, something to do with the virus, and they're going to have to do reshoots again. But they won't reshoot because they've put so much money into it, it'd be fucking stupid. So if they don't just release it on Disney Plus, I think they'll do some more reshoots, and they won't say why, but that's why. That's my guess. So have a fun guess why New Mutants will have to be reshot. That's quite nerdy, but I find it really, really funny that like we almost got it and it was cancelled again. At this point, they have to just put it on Disney Plus. Like they just, it's like, it'll be what if it comes out next year? It'll be in like 5 years since it was originally meant to come out. Like, and it wasn't even that looking good of a film to begin with. So Christ. So recommendations. I have one for Disney Plus, one for YouTube, one for Netflix, two for Netflix. And the first one is two things that have been put on YouTube, which is the NPR Tiny Desk concerts. Loads and loads of people have done them. But as I'm recording this a few days ago, the Harry Styles and Rex Orange County ones came out. And even if you don't listen to them that much, definitely go and give them a watch. Again, uplifting, fun, happy watching. Makes you feel good. So definitely go and give those a watch. Highly recommend. Disney Plus recommendations. Everyone who's got Disney Plus has probably already cycled through all the nostalgia, all the 90s, all the early 90s series from the Disney Channel, and they're probably all like, yeah, they're fucking class, and like they're already going through it. But the thing I wanted to point out was National Geographic. Like, I forgot that Disney owned National Geographic, and I think that's the coolest thing that's actually on there. And there's loads and loads of good documentaries. Free Solo, haven't watched it yet, but it won loads of awards about a rock climber, so really excited to watch that one, so I can't recommend that, but I've been told it's fantastic. But the one I did watch was 20 Years On, with the Titanic with James Cameron, and it's basically how James Cameron for the last 20 years has been trying to figure out if his film was correct, which I think is really, really cool. And he goes and figures out if that's where it blew up, if that's where it sank. And like, he's so fucking rich, he literally has his own submarine. He goes and tours the Titanic whenever the fuck he wants. He just like goes around and he looks at it and he's like, that's pretty class. And there was one thing, obviously as technology gets better, like there was a room they couldn't get in before. So now he's got a smaller, I was gonna say droid, a smaller submarine and camera they can get in, and he could see rooms which he depicted in the film but they hadn't seen. So he had to be like, look how accurate we got it without even being able to see it because of like the sister ship plans. Go and watch it on Disney Plus if you've got it. Really, really good. I would recommend Disney Plus, even much as I hate giving more money to Disney. There's a load of cool shit on there, even if you just get the 7-day free trial. But would definitely recommend that. The next one, I have a whole paragraph on my laptop that I want to say, but I'm not going to say all of it because it's such an amazing movie. I want you to go and find it out for yourselves. It's I, Tonya. I watched it a year or two ago, and then obviously recently again because it's just been put on Netflix like 2 days ago as I'm recording this. And it stars Margot Robbie in the biopic depicting competitive ice skater Tonya Harding, who's a notorious story. If you don't already know it, I wouldn't look it up, just watch the film. But it's absolutely notorious as she rises amongst the ranks at the US Figure Skating Championships. But her future in the activity is thrown when into doubt when her ex-husband intervenes. So you probably all know the story. I'm not going to say it because I think you should go and watch it if you don't. But it's like a mockumentary, but serious. Like, so it's not like the Office mockumentary, but it is a documentary of a real event. But obviously it's a film, so it's fiction. I don't really know what to call it. I'm confused. Um, if that makes sense, go and watch it. It's absolutely fantastic. Really well done. One of Margot Robbie's best roles, I would say. I'm not sure if her studio company did it. I think Birds of Prey was their first one, but I know that she does have a film company that does like female-led films a lot. So I don't know. But Margot Robbie's fantastic in it. Definitely go and give it a watch. It's one of my favourite films of the noughties. I'm not going to say ever. Of the noughties, really, really good. Um, Maybe actually one of my favourite films on the list. I'll get back to it, but yeah, definitely go and give it a watch because it's absolutely fucking fantastic. And the last one is I know it's a bit old now. I recently watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Love You. And the first film I found surprise. Like first time I watched it, I was like, that's pretty good. Then a few podcasters I listened to were like, it was pretty good. Then some people I listen like talk to were like, oh, it's just like shitty rom com, teenage rom com. But I love those types of films. And this one, when I rewatched it, was actually quite good. Like genuinely like the oh my god, I've forgotten the name. What type of media student am I? The camera. What the fuck is the word? I shouldn't have forgotten it. It's my favourite word to talk about when we watch films. The cinematography, Jesus Christ. It's my most pretentious word I get to use correctly. The cinematography of it, the style of it, pretty sure it was shot on film. Like it's a really, really good. Even the story, like as bad as it sounds, like basically she sends 5 love letters to people that she loved like years and years before. And it's like, which one does she choose? And I actually found it quite an interesting story, and I think it was told well the second time when I watched it. I was like, you know what, this is actually quite cohesive. They don't actually piss around a lot, and it comes to a adequate, not stupid ending, which isn't what I'd say for the second one. The second one feels like it should have been a scene in the first, if that makes sense. Second one is like, but did she choose the right one? Duh. And I think that's absolutely stupid, and they should have left it at the first one because I think the first one was absolutely fantastic. Not fantastic, but it was, I don't know. It was really, really good, especially for a Netflix film, especially for a teenage rom com. I think the directors did really, really well, but the sequel I probably wouldn't recommend as much. And I was in Waterstones a while back, and I realised there was 3 books by the author that did the first one. If you didn't know, they're based on a trilogy. So I'm not excited for the third one, which Netflix will indefinitely make because get that money in it. But yeah, that's all my recommendations this week. Next week I'll probably have some more. Also Westworld. I've just finished rewatching season 1 and 2, and it was like a boof to my heart. And I watched a recap video from Cram It. Pardon me. Would definitely recommend that again. Because I'm just about to start season 3 today, even though it's coming out weekly. But yeah, so I'm gonna move on to Animal Crossing now, and I think I was saying that like I've just said it before because I recorded it earlier. But basically, start of a new season. It's the start of Easter. So when I woke up this morning, whenever you wake up, Isabel, who I'll explain, sells what you're gonna do that day, and I've basically walked around, shown you my island, shown you why I've put stuff places, what it looks like, why it looks like it's there. Having on voice breaks, I'm like 14 again. Why stuff is there, and if it becomes a regular thing, I'd happily do it. I was thinking about overlaying it and then talk about other stuff over the top, but I was like, maybe for the first week, like you need a bit of background of what everything is. But if people would want it separately or would want it overlaying, just give this video a like. I think I say it in that as well, because I'd like to do it. If you really don't, give it a dislike. But if you're just not asked, just don't do anything. That's fine. Unless you want to dislike and like, feel free. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you afterwards. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this part of the podcast. It's a little bit different, I'm sure I explained in the beginning, but today it's the first day of the new season in Animal Crossing. It's like spring now, something like that. So I thought today would be a good day to go through my village, and hello, you can just see me there. go through my village and you can just sort of see what I've been doing, why I've been doing it. It's a bit of an odd thing to do, I do agree, but even with people I've been talking to, like playing it and stuff, Alice and Harry, I'll probably bring them up a few times, they probably still don't know even all the ins and outs of the reasons I've put stuff places, and I've put about 45 hours in the last 12 days into the game. So it's something I've been doing quite a lot recently, so I thought I may as well go through some of the things. But yeah, so this is Isabel, and if you haven't played, she sets you up every morning and sort of tells you what's happening. Today's Bunny Day, or is going to be Bunny Day, because of the change in season. So basically, all that means is that you get a few new bugs and fish. Oh, pardon me. You get a few new bugs and fish. So you'll maybe see that in my house because I've kept a few bugs from the last season. So last night I tried really, really hard to get all of the bugs and fish from the last season because you won't be able to get them till I think like June again now. But yeah, she's just basically going through that. And then she's got something new. She's texting, oh, there's a new thing if you haven't been playing your Nook phone. And that's where you have, like, it's a bit like Minecraft now. You have recipes and you have wood and iron and you have to make things and you get them out of rocks. But I'll go around. This is like me opening it up on the first minute of the day. So this is like the daily rounds that you sort of do. Hello. But yeah, so I'm just going to go around, and if people like it, I might do it again. Might make it its own thing. So this is my house. I've got a call from Tom Nook. Or Timmy, sorry. Or Tommy. Alice is online. Timmy. So they normally call you every day because now at the shop shuts at 10, so there's a little box outside you can put things in to sell, and it sends you the money the next day. So what have I got in the mail? Bank of Nook. Wow, I've earned 167 bells interest. Amazing. Normally, if you buy things online or some of your friends will send you gifts, that's what's there during the morning. So I'll start with my house. This is outside my house. These are the roses that I got from Alice's place, and I suspect Harry gave me this black rose because I have no idea where else it came from. Tom Nook gave me this, and I actually have one of these in real life, so I thought it was really, really cool. Like, everyone gets one, but I put mine outside my house just to chill. I got this out of a present, so presents fly by on balloons, you can shoot them down, so I got this skull on one of them yesterday. This is like my little picnic station. Oh, look at the trees. All the trees are normally green, like you can see behind, but now they're all cherry blossom. That is so sick. I actually love that. This is a recycled flower pot that you make from cans and flowers that you find when you're fishing. Sometimes you pick up dirt. Barbecue picnic station here, and it's like a little mug of coffee. This is all really, really dumb, but this is the thought behind everything. A little mug of coffee, so you come out in the morning, you have it. Here's your milk and sugar. I think that's really, really cute, and I could do with the coffee right now. Basically, this is one of the biggest fish in the game. Should I try and show it off? So I have it on display outside my house because it wouldn't really fit anywhere in the house. But just to show you for scale, it's massive. So that's why that's there. Nope. So yeah, I'll put that back quickly. No, I'm still not very good at this game. Place item. Yeah, that's why that's there. I think it's pretty sick, but it doesn't fit in my house. Oh shit, look, there's a present, I have to come back out quickly. Fuck. So these, I think today apparently, that's inside my house quickly, but I'll show you that more in a minute. So I think today, because it's a new season, it's like the Easter event, you're going to have absolutely loads of these presents flying over. Is it still there? Can I still go and get it? I could chase after it, but I actually don't really care that much. Because I'd rather show you my house. So this is inside my house. You saw a quick glimpse. I hope it autofocuses alright. Here we go back. So yeah, this is the house. You can change the... Oh, there we go. It can change the lighting. That's like indoor shitty lighting, but I like it this. This is one of the fish. I can't quite remember its name, but I'll pick it up and remember it. Sturgeon, so that was one of the fish that was in like last season's array. And I'll go into this room quickly. So that was the fish that was in last season's array that I really like, so I thought I'd put it in my house, and that's the same as two fish in here that I thought I'm not sure if I'll be able to catch again, so I thought I'd put them in my house, so I always have them. But that's a football fish, or a soccer fish in some countries, and it's not called a zebrafish, it's called like a bear tooth fish or something, but they're two of my favourites from the last season, so I thought I'd put them in here. And this room is supposed to be, I was going to try and create like a little recording studio, so I've got lights, the director's chair, whiteboard, and I was hopefully going to get like the green screen green colour, and I was going to put that on the walls, maybe get a desk to make it look like a YouTube setup or something. So as you can see, I'm projecting all of my dreams onto this character. But that's room one. I've only built 2 rooms. For those who don't know, you get loans off Tom Nook. The first one is like 100,000, then that second room was like 500,000, 500 bells. This is the bedroom. So bed, cool lava lamp, got some art on the walls, a little tapestry because I'm a wee student. Got this just out of a flying present, so I thought I'd put that. That's a sewing machine. This is I think that it's really cool that the alarm clock actually tells you the real time. So lots of times I come here and I'm like, oh shit, I've been on this game for 6 hours. So it's actually 11:45 in the day. Nintendo Switch, which they give you, which is actually worth about 30,000 bells, which is absolutely mental. And then I have the fortune telling set that someone gave me that I absolutely love, and this is a carpet I've made from bamboo. I do want a new floor. I was trying to make it quite earthly tones in here. If you couldn't tell, you can customise, much like Minecraft, you can customise all your furniture now, so I've made all mine green in that room. Other rooms I might make it different. But the thought for this room, again, earthly tones, try and keep it. It's like, imagine if you were in like a cottage or a cabin, like up in Scotland or something. It's like your stone brick walls, your natural wooden flooring. That mat, the rug on the floor is actually like an island. It's like the beach around it, then the island in the middle. I thought that was pretty sick. And my typewriter, because I'm a little indie boy who's going to be typing up all my new screenplays. That's cactuses that you can just get in the shop. And then that fish there that you can see, a guy, Chip Jr. comes in, and basically if you give him 3 of the same fish, he makes you like a little... makes you a little statue, and I stupidly give him sea bass, which is the worst fish in the game, but I just had 3 on me at the time, but I've got other fish I wish I'd given him. Oh, the new cool thing about this is you have storage in your house as well, so this is the fish I wanted him to make, a sea butterfly. But this is different from last generations of the game where you did have storage, but it was dog shit. So this is all my storage. As you can see, I've got all my materials around. Lots of wood, lots of iron, not much softwood. At first I needed just normal wood, and he didn't get it in much supply, but, you know, it changes. So now I need softwood, because one day, there's a hot item every day in the shop, and if you go and sell it, you get double the price for that item. So I used all my softwood there. But I'll take you on my daily rounds. So I'd start here, come out, check the mail, and then normally these trees aren't so fucking cool. Oh, I see, normally they don't have Easter eggs on, this is all brand new. So you give them a shake. I don't know what these Easter eggs do, you just collect them. I'll figure that out as we go. So normally I just go around and collect all the fruit. See what? Oh, star fragment. So last night, me, Harry, and Alice all went to Alice's because she had a meteor shower, and you look up and you see stars and you make wishes. And then this morning, all the star fragments land on your beach. And these star fragments you can make into different things. So if you go, this is your Nook phone. Oh, look, there's another thingy. Shit. It's going to be so annoying to try and explain stuff because I'm going to keep trying to get... No, don't talk to Gulliver. Fuck. Oh, I need to get to the other side. Can't quite remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah, so the star fragments, they let you down. You wished on them, and then they all appeared on your beach this morning. And then you can make them into different things. I'll show you in a second, like wands, and I'm not sure what the wands do. They give you, like, wishes. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Am I still too close to this? No. There we go. What have I got? I've got a sky egg. Still don't know what that means. But I'm going to go back to where I was, and I'm going to show you, again, daily routine. This is weird as well, because I'm looking through an iPad at it, so it's really mental. This is Gulliver. He's just one of the NPCs that can pop up on your island. There's absolutely loads of them. He just happens to be there today. He's been in loads of games, I'm sure. If you've ever played a game, you'll have spotted one. Bloody hell, you never ever get this many. It's because it's a new season. If you look just slightly to the right there, you can see there's a lighthouse. So another new thing in this game is Nook Miles. So instead of just bells, you get miles as well for doing different things. So I'll show you that here. So this is the Nook Miles scheme. And it's as easy as learning to fish and catching fish. I've caught 372 fish so far. And you get Nook Miles, which you can spend on tickets to go to other island, Or once you build the town hall, which I'll show you in a second, you get a whole array of things like this, and this is obviously just a lighthouse. So that was like 5,000. Ooh, but you start getting to make really really cool stuff like that. Yeah, and there's loads of stuff that I'll try and make. I have 4 villagers who live with me. Should we see if they're in? And basically, when you build it, you have to give them so much furniture inside and outside. So that's why there's proper furniture inside and outside of the house. But I think they make some of it themselves. This is Al, Big Boy Al. He's my favourite. I am called Go Prandle. Basically, what's this? Best, come on. Bunny Day is all about candy eggs, which makes you the best. Come on, April 12th, get here faster. Oh, so it's April 12th on Bunny Days. That's something to do with Easter, I think. Alice and Harry know absolutely everything about the game, so I get most of the stuff I need to know off them. But yeah, here's just furniture I've crafted for him, but then they do piss all with it, so I've like crafted some more. So again, when I'm going around, I go and pick up all my... Peaches was my very first fruit, so I've been picking up loads of peaches. I've got pears, I think, from Alice and apples from Harry, but basically if I take my peaches to their islands, I make like, I think it's like 10 times more the money, so here I'd make like, I think it's 100 bells per peach that I've sold, but over there I can make up to, I think it's 1,000 bells per one sold. Normally, when you dig those up, it's a fossil. So you normally go around, you collect four fossils each morning. So it normally consists of I go around and collect all the fruit, save it until I go to someone's island to sell it, then I collect all the fossils and take it to Blathers. I'll go inside and see Blathers. So this is the museum, and as you know, Blathers has been in the game every iteration of the game. So you take in fossils, he assesses them, and then you get put into one of your 3 museum slots. That's Blathers there. I don't have anything for him, so we won't talk to him. But I'll take you down and show you just what the new museum looks like now. So this is the new museum. I'm not going to go through all the way through it. But yeah, it's pretty swish, to be fair. I think it's pretty sick, and it shows all the... I did complete it in the last Animal Crossing game, so hopefully I can complete it this time. But yeah, here's probably a better view of it. Just need a few fossils to complete a few of them. But yeah, that's the new museum. I think it's pretty sick. But now I'll go through what I've changed on the island. So I've had this game 12 days since it very first came out, and ironically that was the first day I went into isolation. So I've spent a lot of time, and a lot of things have changed. So if you were getting it now, it would never look like this. So for example, this used to be a tent. You start with a tent, and you have to work your way up to a house. That's what I was saying earlier. So the museum was a tent, and as you collect more, it gives you more tents. It gives you more, it gives you bigger buildings and stuff. So that's what the museum looks like. That was a little fountain gifted to me from one of my villagers. This is the town hall. There's Al again. And this again used to be a tent, and then I think you get to like day 5, and it gives you the option to build this. And you're going, and Isabel isn't from the beginning. Normally it's Tom Nook who takes care of all your needs. But at the beginning, now Isabel's come in and she talks you through just about everything to do with island life, whereas Tom Nook still deals with home improvements and infrastructure. So that's what we'll talk about next. So normally in this game, for about the first 3 days, I couldn't actually access half of my island because I didn't have ladders or a stick, which I'll try and find in a minute, which allows you to... I didn't have this, which allows you to go to rivers. Let's take it over. And it allows you to like jump over rivers. So I didn't have that to begin with, so I couldn't access half my island, and then I didn't have ladders until Alice gave me some, so I couldn't even get to the heights of the island. But as you go all the way through, that's the shop there, and that's the little box I was talking about earlier, that's Nook Cranny. But basically you can start to build infrastructure. So this is the bridge that I made first. Second, the first bridge you saw near my house, but that's like the most basic one. This is one where you could choose what you wanted to build. And you had the choice between the really basic one you saw earlier, this one, or a more curved one. There's lots of different ones. But I chose flat because I find it better for fishing on. And the other one's a zen. So I might build a little like zen garden at the top of my island. So I might put a zen bridge over there. But for now I'd like to make them all just like this because it fits the aesthetic. I've got steps that are built in the same wood and it's flat. I don't like the idea of going up and over, even though it's no extra work for me. I like just literally going flat. So that's why I chose those. Again, peaches, these, I don't know if these give you anything special, but normally if you shake trees, they'll either give you fruit, a twig, bees, or bells. And bees are absolutely shit. These are new flowers that just gone today, and I'm very happy I bought them. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. Shit. But yeah, I think they're absolutely sick. This is Bamboo, which if with your Nook Miles tickets, you can pay 2,000 tickets, miles, sorry, and you go to a different island. Uh, I'm not sure if you could in other games, but basically you can collect different plants and animals there. So I got bamboo from one of them, so that's just a little bamboo tree, but it doesn't give you anything special when you shake it. It still only gives you like bells, twigs, things like that. So that's the first bridge that I made. This is the upper part now, which you can't get up unless you have ladders, which is different to other games. So it was like the first 5 days, if I'd played it properly, I wouldn't have been able to access this point. But it is sort of cool, but it does start to get annoying. Now there's a money tree, basically every now and again. I think we walked past it earlier, but I didn't point it out. There's little gold flashes like down below on the ground. There's like little gold sparkling, and if you dig it up and plant some money, you can create money trees, which is pretty sick. These are some apples and pear trees that I've nicked from Alice and Harry. I've just put in its own little area because you get given 50 wood and you get an award for dropping 50 wood. So this is the third tier of your island. That's the only difference. Up here, it's different again, that you can get different fish up here. Like yesterday, I had to sit up here and cast out bait for a particular type of fish because this is the only place that they will spawn, and it's like ridiculously accurate. Like it'll only spawn between 4 and 9 p.m. in this top bit. Is this a new common blue bottle? See, that's new today. So I can take that to the museum and give it to Blathers, and once you give it to him and he's had one in the museum, then you can just sell the rest of them for normally a canny bit of money. Looking for me ladders again. There's so much shit you have in your pockets, it does start to annoy me when I'm going through them all. This is just second tier again, but the one thing, this is brand new today, it's the first time I'm walking up and down it, which is absolutely essential. It's just the first set of steps, and as you can see, I tried to make it in fashion with the other the other bridge, sorry, so it's like the similar type of wood, because you could have had a dirt one or even a stone one, but I thought, no, I'll keep it the same type of wood, and that's just absolutely class, because I can't be bothered getting out my ladders every single place we go. But so there's two sides of the island, basically, and there's two bridges to it. And this side of the island I've tried to keep clear as possible and plant as many trees as possible, because this is the art side that I'd quite like to have more natural, silly as it sounds, and have all my fruit round here so I can go and catch bugs. There is 2 villagers' houses here. Oh, there's another present. I can't quite remember. I know that there's a deer, there's a deer and 2 gorillas on the original part of the island, which is where my house is. How am I supposed to get that? Do I have to go to the other side? Christ. So there's 2 gorillas and a deer on one side of the island, and on this side there is a flamingo. I can't remember which other one, which is really bad because Alice knows like all of hers off by heart. But yeah, so 4 villagers. 3 of them I quite like. The flamingo's a bit annoying because she didn't come say hello. I went to go say hello to her on a first date. She didn't come say hello to me. She was basically like, I'm busy, fuck off. So that was a bit of a dick move. But yeah, so this is one side. Even though it's got a stream in the middle, I'm counting this as one side of the island. Apart from these 2 houses, I've tried to keep it clear so it could have as many trees as possible and wildlife, and I can just go and catch everything there. Then obviously this side of the island is where everything is. So there's my house, which I've shown you around. You come down and you get to Al's house here. So he's one of the gorillas. Then you come across. This is the port where you can go to different. Well, Alan talks to me. You can go to the different islands. You can also go and visit your friends. That's where they all come in. I hate to bug you, but could you catch me a yellow butterfly? You bet, you arsehole. God. They ask you this. So this is one thing that annoys me. So when you get the different infrastructures, it's like everyone will pitch in together, and there's a little pot where you can go and put money in for your new stuff. But no one ever puts any money in apart from you. So it's like 168,000 bells to build a bridge, and they put in like 220 bells, if that, and you have to put the other. So it's a bit bullshit, but you know you have to love them. That's a message in a bottle that come up, and they give you different DIY recipes, which is, as you can see here in the app, this is an outdoor picnic set, cherry blossom petal. That's pretty cool. So you have to build all your own tools. I don't think you have to do it in other games, and they can break, which is again like Minecraft, and it's really fucking annoying. Especially when you try to fish for something in particular, and you have to keep going to find fish. But yeah, there's Nook Cranny just there. There's never normally this many presents. So there's Nook's Cranny just in front of the town hall, and then just behind that is the other gorilla's house, as well as the deer's house. So we go and see if they're in. I can find out their names. So these two are my original villagers, and Al was the first new one that when you go to other islands you can invite people back. So he was the third person I invited back. Fuchsia the deer. She just spit on me. Is that what just happened there? I've probably been stung by a bee, so they all just want to give you medicine. They actually can't see absolutely anything else. No, I haven't. Oh, she needs medicine. Right, I read that really quickly. I don't know how much these... So all the, obviously, bugs are worth a certain amount. And sometimes you get butterflies that are worth like 3,000 bells each, so it is worth catching them and selling them on. And I've got one to give to Blathers and one to give for me. But yeah, so that side of the island, I've tried to keep all the museums, town halls, and shops. And I think I have to build like a band stage. I'm going to try and build here. And then the other side I've tried to keep for just wildlife. But that was just a first update into what my house looks like and everything I'm doing on Animal Crossing. Oh, here's that gold thing I was telling you about. And everything I'm doing on Animal Crossing this season. I'm not quite sure what all the eggs do yet. But I'll sure I'll find out as we go through. But if it's just something you enjoy, please give the video a like. I think that's probably just the easiest way to say it. And then I'll know to either do it again in a podcast or maybe do its own thing and keep updated on the house and stuff. But if this was cringy and awful, I apologise. But I've put like a lot of hours into the game, so I thought I may as well show off what I've done and maybe some of the reasons behind I've done lots of it. So I thought, hope you enjoy that and you've had a little insight into my mind and the way I play games. But yes, thank you. And I'll probably have a little clip after this being like, thanks for listening to the podcast. But yeah, that is my Animal Crossing. Thank you for listening to episode 3 of Distraction. I'll be back again next week. If any of you watched last week, I did say that Barney was going to be on this episode, but he's gone off to Scotland. But he probably won't be on next week's episode either, obviously, because we're all in isolation and he's fucked off to another country. But next week, don't know what I'm going to talk about, but please come back because I'm really enjoying making these. And I think this week went just as well as last week, so I hope you like the Animal Crossing. So give it a like or dislike, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.